Ayan, so game po ulit. Okay? So kanina po pinresent ko yung yung structure nung IEEE research paper So ngayon naman po, so syempre, sabi nga po nila ang engineer daw po ay mahina magsulat. Pero parang hindi naman po kasi pag nagbabasa ako ng mga IEEE papers, ang gaganda naman ng mga sentence construction nila. Ano, so parang hindi ko matanggap na ang mga engineer daw ay mahina sa English. So siguro hindi, kailangan mo lang pong practicein So ito po yung mga tips na mai-share ko sa inyo Ito po ay na-attendan ko din na training sa IEEE. Kung natatandaan ko, remotely ang nag-sponsor nung IEEE ay parang Switzerland chapter po ata. So itong ipapakita ko po sa inyo, shinare lang ng isang engineer paano siya magsulat ng ng sentences. Since magsusulat nga po tayo, so kailangan natin gumawa ng sentences at saka paragraph. So again, wala pong rules sa pagsusulat ng sentence. So siguro may rules ang grammar, so tatanggapin natin 'yun. Pero yung sentence construction, na tama yung grammar siguro, is pwede pa nating ma-improve. Okay? So, paano po yung mga effective writing techniques na ina-apply ko pag nagsusulat ako ng paper? Okay? So, preliminaries po muna. Kailangan malaman po natin yung mindset ng isang elite. Elite po ito, ibig sabihin, Lodi. Lodi na research writer. So, again, hindi po sa akin tong presentation na to, ini-package ko na lang po tapos dinagdagan ko na lang. So galing po ito sa IEEE Switzerland. Last year pa po to. So tinuturuan nila kami paano magsulat na magagandang sentences. So parang ang hindi po technical parang English language yung nagtuturo pero hindi, engineer din po siya. Mechanical engineer po yung nagturo sa amin ito. Okay? So unang-una sabi po niya kasi hindi ko ni-claim na sa akin to So write with integrity. So sa mga sentence po natin, ito marami ako nakikitang ganito sa mga educational researches saka sa mga conferences. So wag po tayong mag-pretend na na mukhang matalino sa pagsusulat. Basta maging honest lang po tayo sa mga sentence. So ano po yung sinasabi kong wag magmukhang matalino, mamaya magpapakita po ako ng sentence na sinample nila. So, the aim po natin is to communicate brilliantly. Hindi po tayo nagsusulat para sa atin. Sa totoo lang. Ang pagsusulat ng research ay hindi talaga para sa atin, para sa babasa. So, ang aim po talaga is wag magmukhang matalino. Yung bang nagpapa-impress ka sa mga sentence mo. But to communicate brilliantly, paano mo ma-express yung research mo in a way na magaan dun sa reader. Okay? So sabi dito, pag ang aim mo talaga is magpasikat, bida-bida, bida-bida sa mga sentence. So pinupulyot mo lang yung true message nung research mo tapos nagiging less effective. May mga writer kasing ganun. Hindi ko po sinasabi dito na na sabihin yung hindi importante ang vocabulary. Napaka-important ng vocabulary para maintindihan mo yung mga meaning ng sentences. Pero sa pagsusulat, as much as simple lang, mas maganda. Yun po yung suggestion ng mechanical engineer. Nakalimutan ko, nare-reviewin ko po yung presentation niya. Hindi ko na i-record last year So sabi, when fancy language are used flagrantly, talagang pinapabango mo yung sentence mo para magmukha kang sophisticated, matalino. Lalong hindi ka nagiging itsurang matalino sa 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 paningin ng mga readers. Pag pinipilit mo kailangan matalino yung sentence, mataas yung vocabulary level, yung kailangan bubuklat dapat sila every time ng 3 sentences, kailangan pumunta sila sa thesaurus, pumunta sila sa dictionary. Hindi po ganun yung point. As much as possible, ibababa mo yung level ng sentences mo para maintindihan talaga ng wide reader. Okay, kasi yung mga nagbabasa ng papel natin, minsan hindi naman talaga engineers, minsan bawa high school lang, gusto lang na-click lang niya yung papel mo, alam mo, related sa mini thesis niya. So mag-write po tayo integrity, basta maging na lang, just be yourself, kung ano lang yung kaya ng English mo, na hindi naman dapat presentable din naman. Basta wag mo lang pipilitin na magmukhang super genius mo dun sa mga sentences. Okay, so ito po yung sample ng sa IEEE Switzerland. So sabi daw, so my client would regard it as eminently gratifying and propitious. Wow, ang lalim. If you would deem it worthy of your time and resources to acquiescent graciously, ang lalim, in a fitting manner to a confabulation in an environment considered conducive to both parties. Kung babasahin mo po yan, as a normal leader, ang bigat. Yung ibang ano dyan, hindi ko alam. Gaya nung halimbawa, acquiescence, confabulation, hindi po malalim din ang vocabulary ko. Ano, kung gagawin mong ganyan, parang nagpapabida-bida ka na lang eh, nagpapa-impress. So, pagdating po sa research paper, iniiwasan natin yung ganyan. Sabi daw nung author nito, this is too much, way over the top, na pwede mo namang pasimplihin. So, wag na wag po natin gagawin ganito mga sentence yung researches natin. Ano? Again, hindi ko po dinidiscount na kailangan malalim yung vocabulary mo. Pero siguro sa creative writing, may place siya. Pero sa research, as much as madedecompose mo siya sa simpleng sentences, yun yung maganda. Ano? Yun po yung payo lang. Okay? So, preliminaries po ng elite na research writer, magaling siyang kumonek sa readers niya. So, sabi ko nga po kanina, para sa readers, hindi para sa atin yung ginagawa natin. Okay? At some point, para mas maintindihan nila. So, use words that your audience is familiar with. So, halimbawa, may term kayo sa mechanical engineering, sa industrial engineering na talagang jargon. Kung makakita ka ng equivalent nun sa as a layman term, so why not? Pwede namang i-define mo yung jargon. Ano? Pero wag in a sentence na yung pinakita ko kanina. Okay? Kasi pag ganun yung gagawin mo, ganun yung mga sentences mo, tatama rin talaga ako magbasa. Kasi every time na halimbawa 1 to 2 sentence, pupunta ako sa dictionary. Kasi nagpapa-impress ka ng vocabulary mo sa akin. So, although kaya mo namang i-decompose siya sa simpleng sentences, nai-alienate mo ako. Halimbawa ako yung reader. So, hindi ko nababasahin yung papel mo. Ano, nakakasura lang ng lalim. Okay? So, know your intent. So, kailangan alam mo kung yung intention. Ano? So, kailangan conscious ka kung bakit ka nagsusulat. Ano, may reason ka. So, pwedeng ang intent mo is gusto mong mag-inform. Usually, ito ang ginagawa ng research. Gusto mo mag-persuade na ganito yung result. Ano, ipa-persuade mo siya. So, at some point, ang writing din kasi is kailangan ma-entertain yung reader. Hindi in a way na kailangan tumawa siya, kundi dapat may makuha siya na bago, yung parang may aha moment. Hindi ko naisip yun. So, instead na ganun, na-entertain in a way. So, kailangan din na mag-inspire ng ibang researches based sa writing natin, i-inspire natin na mag-research din sila. Tapos, tell a story. Usually, ginagamit itong tell story, according dun sa nag-present nito, is dun sa related literature. Yung tinatawag na, although related literature siya, may istorya talaga siya, may flow yung hindi basta-basta patchy-patchy na gaya sa estudyante natin na halos dinedefine lang lahat. Parang hindi niya sinisynthesize na ito yung literature na, ito yung hindi nakita, ito yung nire-research ko. So, kailangan malinaw yung intent. Usually, ganyan yung intent ng research, to inform, to persuade, to tell story, to inspire. At kung ano pang intention na gusto mong pwede ang intention mo ay to refute the claim. Sasalungatin mo. Okay? So, pwede yun. Okay? So, aspire to beauty. So, may mga sentences po na magaganda talaga. Yung bang pag binasa mo, although yung meaning niya is simpleng-simple, is nakakadagdag ng ganda ng sentence. So, pag nagre-research tayo, ito yung mahirap din gawin kaya ang tagal din mag-edit pag nagre-research. So, kailangan every word, every phrase, may nako-contribute dun sa message. Hindi yung lang, para humaba lang yung papel. Ang research po ng IEEE, although 6 to 10 pages siya, minimum 6 yung full paper. Yung concept paper nila is 4 pages only, kasama na yung reference. So, 6 to 10. So, usually, naglalaro kami sa 6 to 8 pag nagpa-publish. Okay? So, size and length of each paragraphs are evaluated. Pangit din yung paragraph mo ay sunod-sunod. Yung halos wala ng putol. So, ang purpose po ng paragraph, kaya nilalagyan natin ng tab, ibig sabihin, ibang idea na yung pine-present ko. Okay? Pero minsan, nababiolate ko to. For publication purposes, natatanggal ko yung mga tab ng paragraph, yung groupings ba. Kasi sa IEEE minsan pag lumabas ka sa limit na 7 pages, babayaran mo yung extra paper. Halimbawa, ang fee nila ay $50 isa, hindi $2.5 isa. So, ang ginagawa ko minsan, ina-adjust ko yung paragraph as in ano lang, pero minimal lang, hindi naman to the point na isang chunk ng paragraph na sunod-sunod ba. Ibig sabihin kung walang tab yung paragraph, hindi siya naka-group. Tapos syempre, attention to details. Ano? So, sa totoo lang, ang writing po talaga, kung bibigyan ko kayo ng percentage, sa akin, 10% lang ako nagsusulat. Ano, halimbawa, naggagawa ako ng draft ng research. 90% of the time, in terms ng writing po ito, is puro editing. Babasahin mo ng ulit-ulit. May mga words ka ba na dapat i-simplify? Ito bang paragraph na to dapat mauna dun sa in chronological order? Kasi may mga flow. Masarap magbasa kung may flow yung ideas. Ano? So, is there a way? Yun naman po yung napapractice. Napapractice siya habang nagsusulat. Hindi ako naniniwala na wala kang matututunan. Sa umpisa talaga, ang ganit po talaga magsulat. Lalo na hindi ka sanay. Pero pag nakakasanayan mo, yung idea mo parang na lang, instinct na lang ba? Lumalabas na lang siya, parang nagiging automatic siya. Okay? So, masasabi mo siya ng more clearly, nakaka-evoke ng emotion. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, bawat sentence, kailangan, hindi naman bawat sentence, especially yung intro at saka yung conclusion, may naka-attach na emotion. Yung aspiration ng beauty ng sentences. So, number 5. So, ito rin ang number 1 na nakalaban ng writer. So, kapag obsessed ka sa perfection, wala kang matatapos na research paper sa totoo lang. So, remember, pag gusto mo talaga perfectionist ka, may mga deadline po ang journal at saka conference. Kapag gagalawin mo siya ng gagalawin, sabi nila, wala talagang perfect in terms ng writing. Is wala naman talaga. So, wag ka ma-obsess na kailangan perfect lahat at some point. Imposible by experience. So, sabi, aim not to be perfect. But para sa sarili mo, ang standard mo kasi sarili mo eh. Yung nararamdaman mo na ginawa mo na, in-exhaust mo na lahat yung pagkaka-arrange ng mga sentence, nung pagkakasulat mo. So, own professional judgment mo na po yun. Siyempre, ikaw nagsulat, o kaya ipa-judge mo siya sa iba, ipakikritik mo. Pag nire-review naman, hindi naman sinasabi usually ng evaluator na mali yung mga sentences mo eh. Usually, technical ang review niya. Ito, ang gawin mo, hindi mo nasabi to. Pero yung construction ng sentence, hindi ka ikikritik doon. Unless, gibang-giba talaga yung grammar. Kasi talaga may lumalabas na ganun. Poor grammar talaga sasabihin. Pero so far, wala pa naman akong nagiging na ganong critic. Usually, mga technical details nung paper. Siguro yung mga iba. So, 4 lang po yung batayan ng effective writing techniques. So, kailangan simple lang, malinaw, at some point mabuti, maganda yung sentence construction kasi nakakadagdag yan sa nakakadagdag sa ganda ng papel. Yung beauty, yung sinasabi kong beauty, hindi mo kailangan magpa-impress sa mabubulaklak na mga malalalim na vocabulary words, mga ganon. So, may beauty din kung nakaka-evoke ka ng emotion. So, mahirap maging writer kung iisipin nyo po. Imagine nyo yung writer ng newspaper, kailangan may output sila every day o kaya every week. Imagine yung buhay nila. Pero kung napapractice mo nga siya, dun sa mga student din natin, bawa yung mga Kingfisher, napapractice lang eh. Sa dami ng pagsusulat nila, nag-i-improve talaga. Kahit walang mentor. Siguro may mentor din, yung advisor. Pero kung ipapractice mo lahat ng bagay naman, pag pinapractice mo, nag-i-improve talaga at some point. Okay? So, simplicity, umpisahan natin sa concept ng simplicity. So, writing na mas madaling intindihin at madaling i-absorb ng utak. Minimum amount of complexity. Ito yung tinatawag na economical writing, tight writing. Ibig sabihin, tipid na tipid siya. Brevity, maiksi yung sentence, pero nandun yung meaning. So, lalabas pa rin, simplicity talaga is beauty. Kaso nga sa design, being simple is yun yung complicated. Sa design, yun yung sabi naman ng mga designer. Pag nakuha, yung being simple, napakahirap, napaka-complicated na task, paano magiging simple. Okay, number 1 rule. So may mga ruling po ako dito, tapos may mga example. So, pwedeng fancy, flowery, at saka gumagamit ka ng official language. Which is pwede yung official language, ko i-define mo naman sa research mo. Pointless and floppy writings. So, example, ito yung sentence, hindi man siya related sa engineering kasi hindi technical. Hindi technical yung mga example nung kinunan ko para mas madaling nga intindihin. So sabi dito, high quality learning environments are necessary precondition for facilitation and enhancement of the ongoing learning process. Ang ganda nung sentence. Pero ang suggestion ng author, ang sabi niya, ito lang ibig sabihin yan. Simpleng-simple, yung sentence na white at saka yung sentence na gold, isa lang yung meaning. So, good schools are needed to support children's learning. Ganun lang kasimple. Hindi mo kailangan magsasabi ng learning environments, classroom lang naman yun. Necessary precondition. Ibig sabihin, need. Need talaga yung precondition para ma-enhance yung learning. Ito yung equivalent na sinasabi niya. Lahat ng good schools are needed to support children's learning. Ganyan kasimple. Hindi siya fancy, hindi siya flowery, hindi siya official language. Decomposed to simple sentence. Yet elegant siya. Mas maintindihan ko yan kahit grade 1. Maintindihan niya kung ano ibig sabihin yan. Okay, medyo mataas kasi yung kailangang comprehension dun sa unang sentence. So ano pa yung example? Yan, ang haba. So in the light of the extent, scale, range, and immeasurable complexity of the uncertainties that persist on the economic front. Maganda naman yung we conclude, having evaluated the country's mid to long-term prospect, that multifarious, hindi ko nga alam kung ano ibig sabihin multifarious scenarios could yet unfold. So, paano yung pinakasimpleng decomposition niya? Yan lang ibig sabihin yan. With so much uncertainty daw surrounding the economy, lahat posibleng mangyari. Yun lang ibig sabihin nun. Biruin mo, simpleng-simple, napakahaba. Yung white sentence kasi may tend na magpa-impress Multifarious. Mga ganong effect pa. In the extent, in the scale. Parang iisa lang naman yung extent, scale, at saka range. Isa lang yung meaning. Okay? So, ito yung simpleng equivalent. With so much uncertainty surrounding the economy, yun yung meaning nung nasa taas, anything could happen. Simpleng-simple. Okay? Another one. So, sabi dito, Delta Airlines has implemented a number of initiative to boost ticket sales on domestic routes. Kung titingnan nyo, medyo simpleng-simple na So, paano pa daw pasisimplihin? Ito daw. So, Delta Airlines is trying. Instead of implementing, mas simple yung trying. Mas madali yung meaning. Okay? Although yung implemented, maintindihan mo naman siya Pero kung i-decompose mo siya, Delta Airlines is trying to boost ticket sales on domestic routes. Okay? Tinanggal lang yung implemented. So, minsan, mas maganda yung ganyang mga sentence. Hindi siya ganun kabigat sa utak. Sa totoo lang. Kasi, by instinct trying, napipicture out mo agad kung ano yung sentence Okay, hindi ka na kailangan ko ng dictionary bago matutunan yung context. Okay, yan yung number 1 concept ng simplicity. So, another one, part pa rin to ng simplicity, economical o tight writing. Tipid na ibig sabihin. I-remove mo daw yung unnecessary words. So, reading experience, mas gumagaan, becomes lighter. Tapos o-optimize mo pa yung maximum efficiency ng sentence. So, sample. Yan, simpleng statement. So, I will provide you with an update by the end of the day. Yan, parang ang naging pwede mong bawasin dito is yung I will provide. Pwede mo namang sabihin in 2 ways. I will update you by the end of the day. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. Teka lang po, i-charge ko Nalubat. Okay? So, pwedeng sabihin mo mas simple. So, I will update you today. Pero isa yung meaning. Yan yung tinatawag na economical tight writing. So, may libro po ako ng economical tight writing. So, So next. So if there's any point on which you required explanation or further particulars, we shall be glad to furnish such additional details as may be required by telephone. So pag paiksiin mo lang yan, so malamang ito lang equivalent niyan. So if you have questions, please phone. So kung titingnan mo ang haba nung sentence, pero ito lang yung ibig sabihin. Yung sinasabing natin na economical tight writing. As much as possible, pwede mo siyang paiksiin, pero hindi mo na lost yung meaning ng sentence. So, I will take your proposal into consideration. So, ang short form niya, I will consider your proposal. Okay? Tinanggal niya na yung take. Okay? Mas direct kasi ito eh. Kung titingnan mo. So, then, meron din tayo na redundant words na tinatawag. Kailangan natin i-remove yung unnecessary twin words. So, for example, the 4 pebbles in his left hand and the 2 in his right added up to a sum total of 6. May add ka na, may sum ka pa, tapos may total. So, it's either alin naman dun sa tatlo na lang. So, added up to 6 stones. So, kung titingnan mo, unconsciously, minsan hindi natin napapansin. Pero redundant siya. Okay? So, ito naman, may red shirt, tapos daw ay he always wanted. So, kapag surprise, siguradong yun, unexpected. So, siguro pwede nating tanggalin. Yes, pwede nating tanggalin. So, siyempre, pag sinurprise ka, malamang hindi mo inaasahan yun, unexpected yun. So, pwede nating tanggalin na siya. So, ito din, joint collaboration. So, pag nagko-collaborate tayo, malamang we're joining. So, pwede na lang, collaboration na lang para matanggal natin redundant words. So, ito din, pag sinabi mong plans, malamang you're planning for the future. 'Di ba? So, ito yung mga redundant words na pwede nating i-streamline pa. Okay? So, in terms naman nito, yung sentence na to, so passive sentences harm not only clarity but also simplicity and evocativeness. So, pwede mo nang tanggalin dito yung as well. Okay? Hindi malolost yung meaning kahit tanggalin mo yung as well natin. So, meron pa mga implied words. It is said anyway. Sabi na naman pero hindi mo na kailangan lagyan ng ng ibang sentences. I tend usually not to worry about the small stuff. So, pwede mo namang sabihin, I tend not to worry about the small stuff. So, wala nang mas maganda nga wala na yung tend. I do not usually worry about the small stuff. So, mas maganda yung yung last sentence as equivalent niya Okay, triggered speculation, the company may have vulnerable than before to a downgrade. So, kung titingnan mo dito, so, ang tinanggal niya dito is, kung titingnan natin, has triggered speculation, the company may be more valuable. Tinanggal niya yung than before, to a downgrade. Okay, implied na kasi. Kasi na-experience na, which is downgrade. Before and after man yan, it's a downgrade pa rin. So, he vowed to carry out an investigation. So, again, pag mag-i-investigate ka, malamang gagawin mo siya. So, yung carry out, unnecessary na siya dito. So, dito, tinanggal na nga rin yung isa activities Talagang i-implied mo na kapag yan ay criminal gang, malamang may mga unwanted activities yung mga yan. So, Nokia continues to maintain close watch. Okay? So, pwede mo na lang sabihin, watch na lang. Nokia continues to watch regulatory developments. Okay? Yung mga sinasabi. So, long words din. So, kailangan nating iwasan kung meron namang ipapalit na short ones. So, in case of an emergency, please utilize. So, para sa akin, yung utilize mahaba pa rin. So, make it simple na lang. 3 letters kung compared to 7 which is utilize. Okay, 10% supports a reinstatement. So, instead of reinstatement, pwedeng return. Okay? So, ganun din yung ibig sabihin. Pag ibabalik mo siya, Yung reinstatement is equivalent lang to return. So, Jill previously made numerous attempts to obtain a restraining order. So, pwedeng tried. Ano? So, Jill tried many times to get a restraining order. So, tatanggalin na natin yung numerous attempts. Pwede na lang sigurong tried many times. So, ito, kung titingnan natin yung section 2.5, ano, the manner. Palagay ko yung the manner. Yes, yung the manner. So, pwede namang na lang sabihin, section 5 of the document shows the way surfaces are expected to be cleaned after use. So, pwede na yun. So, I plan to go shopping today and acquire a new pair of shoes. So, pwedeng sabihin mong buy. Kasi para sa akin, yung acquisition, parang nire-reserve ko siya kung ako sa malalaking, sa malalaking items. Like, halimbawa, nakapag-acquire ako ng bahay, ng lupa, ng property. Usually, pag buy, pwede din naman yung buy sa malalaki. Pero by ruling ko yung distinction, yung acquisition kasi malalaking items. Yun ay sa akin lang. So, depende sa inyo. Okay? So, every day I commence my journey to work on the bus before boarding a train. So, pwedeng yung commence, pasimplihin na lang. Instead of commence, start. So, every day I start my journey on the bus before boarding a train. So, meron din number 6, a careless repetition. Repeating points and details. So ito, ambiguity can occur at any time in your writing. So you need to be able to spot the many different ways it can crop up in your writing. So kung mapapansin nyo, ang pinag-uusapan na natin dito is writing eh. Pero pagdating dito sa it can crop up in your writing, sinabi mo na naman yung writing, which is para sa akin unnecessary na siya. Kasi automatically naman ang pinag-uusapan dito is yung writing. Okay? So careless repetition ang tawag. So, sa opinion poll, about 3 voters or 33%. So, para sa akin, ang redundant na dito is yung 1 in 3 voters. Kasi 33% na kasi equivalent nun eh. So, hindi rin magandang tanggalin mo yung 33%. Magko-compute pa ako kung ilang percent yung 1 out of 3. So, pwedeng 33% na lang. Nirepeat mo lang yung same information. Okay? So, rambling. So, uso to sa beauty pageant. Sa dami ng gustong isagot, nagkakagulo-gulo na. Giving too much information. Ako minsan nabibiktima din ako dito sa research publishing. Masyado akong nagrarumble. Okay? So ito mahabang sentence pero ang ginawa lang niya is sinimplify lang niya, hindi na hydraulic fracking, diretso sa fracking. Okay? Hindi niya dinetails dito kung anong klaseng rocks, which is nakasulat dito shale. So, too much information yung binibigay na dito na hindi naman unnecessary. Okay? So, have to pass to water system. Ginawa lang water supply. So, pag nahigop daw yung vapor at nag-leak sa water supply, habang pinapump dun sa earth surface is, hazardous siya sa environment. So, rumbling yung white. So, pinasimplify lang natin dito sa So, may tinatawag din tayo dito na double negatives, which is yung overcomplicating things. So, he was not certain that he would not make a mess out of it. Wala palang out. Mess of it. So, pwedeng, he thought he might make a mess of it. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, dalawa yung not eh. Not certain, not make. So, pwede mo na lang sabihin ganito. Double negative double negation. So, ito din, not that John, then not care. So, pwedeng pasimplihin mo na lang. John cared about Jenny, but he did not love her. Okay? Na-remove natin yung double negatives na tinatawag. So, in terms naman ng multiplying entities, so ito yung mga unnecessary words na hindi mo naman dapat kailangan na. So, for example, Air New Zealand's International Long-Haul Flights Division is doing a lot better. Okay? So, alin yung multiplying entities natin dyan. So, dito, nakikita mo na Air New Zealand. So, may idea na ako yan na flights yan sa aeroplano. So, pwedeng sabihin mo long-haul divisions na lang. So, understood na aeroplano yan. Hindi mo na kailangan sinabing long-haul is may flights. Pero, depende sa inyo kung paano yung entities. So, this is the US company's first overseas partnership since it acquired Italian Gourmet. Ang ginawa naman dito, ginawang possessive. So malamang pag Italy's gourmet food chain, malamang Italian din yun. Okay? So pinasimplify, it acquired instead na Italian gourmet food concept, ginawa na lang Italy's gourmet food chain. Okay? So pwede din to. Malcolm Turnbull became leader of Commonwealth of Australia in 2015. Okay? So ang ginawa niya, binawasan niya ng details. Tinanggal niya yung Commonwealth. So pwede mo kasing halimbawa sabihin People's Republic of China. Pwede mo namang sabihin China. Baway Socialist Republic of, hindi ko alam kung anong Socialist Republic. Basta may mga ganun. So pwedeng tanggalin mo na rin. So Chinese visitors boost Heathrow airport traffic volumes. So Chinese boost Heathrow airport traffic na lang. So it's practically coming film mommy telling Australian morning show Sunrise, it is definitely happening. Ang haba ng tot, which is pwede namang pasimplihin lang natin. Ano bang equivalent niyan? Medyo mahaba pa rin pero mas maayos. So pwede niyan. Tom Cruise has confirmed rumors that a sequel to 1986 classic Top Gun is in the works. So pansinin niyo, pinutol niya dito, may period. So dito sa part na to. So Cruise revealed that the news while promoting. So ibig sabihin lang overstretching. Pag meron kang nafe-feel na masyado nang mahaba yung paragraph mo, is baka pwede mo na siyang i-separate sa 2 or 3 sentences. Kasi overstretching. Okay? So number 11 concept ng simplicity. Unnecessary ceremony. Ito naman is yung nagka-capitalize ka ng words na hindi naman kailangan. Kasi remember, na kapag kinakapitalize mo yung words, napapapunta yung emphasis ng mata mo dyan. Medyo nagiging siyang visual distraction. Example, the central bank. Kung babasahin mo dyan, kung babasahin mo yung sentence, yung emphasis ko nandun sa central bank. Bakit? Malaki ang impact na nagagawa ng capital letters. Okay? Ito yung mga minor correction. The central bank. Required ba talaga na central bank? Unless yan yung pangalan ng central bank, pwedeng gawin capital lahat. Pero kung sinasabi mo lang description na siya yung pinaka-centralized na bank, paliitin mo na lang. Mabigat sa mata yung CB na capital dun sa first sentence. Tingnan nyo, gumagaan. Hindi siya visual distraction pagdating dun sa second sentence. Yan yung mga minor things na pwede mong i-adjust sa mga sentences mo. Unconsciously, hindi mo napapansin. Pero ang bigat kung titingnan mo siya ng matagalan. Parang may certain weight dun sa central bank, dun sa white, as compared dun sa nasa baba. Ito, North Korea's repeated. Ito, nuclear test. Ito siguro sinadya na ito. Yung NA ginawa talagang capital. Tapos yung pwedeng ganyan. So, North Korea, wala tayong magagawa dyan. Bansa yan. Yung Chinese, wala din tayong magagawa. Okay, kailangan capital. Pero yung government, pwedeng maliit na lang. Tapos yung nuclear, ganun din. Unnecessary. Ibig sabihin ceremony, sineselebrate mo yung capital words. Okay? So, Chinese kasi race, North Korea country. So, kailangan capital talaga. So, the victory on this occasion went to Manchester United Football Club. Ang bigat. Malamang, pwede mong gawin dito is yung United Football Club na lang. Yung football club. Kasi Manchester United, kung ikaw ay football fan, soccer fan, yung Manchester United ay pangalan yun. Okay? So, dyan naglalaro ngayon si Cristiano Ronaldo. Kate-trade lang niya dyan. Okay? Yan yung football club. Okay? Medyo mabigat yung FC sa taas. Okay? Next, Michael Dent, Vice President. Ako hindi ko alam kung tama to, pero ito yung sabi niya. Yung Vice President is tinanggalan niya ng weight. Okay? Subjective to ha. Hindi ko din, napaisip din ako nung pinresent niya. Noun ba ang Vice President for something? Ewan ko. Iko-contest ko to. Hindi ako sure dito kung yung Vice President is pwedeng lowercase na lang. Pero kung titingnan, mabigat siya. Mabigat sa paningin. Yung VP ay capital letters. Yan. Second section. So, tapos tayo nito siguro ng alas 6. Di joke lang. Kakaunti lang to. 120 slide. Pero mabilis naman eh. So, clarity. Okay? So, kailangan mo maiksi yung sentence, pero dapat hindi na sasacrifice yung clarity nung ginagawa mo. Kailangan focus yung sentence. So, kailangan i-ensure mo yung ideas mo at saka yung intended meaning ng sentence ay kailangan ay crisp. Kumbaga sa leksyon ay napaka-crispy. Crispy siya. Ang sarap. Ang sarap basahin. Ang sarap tikman. As possible. Kailangan clear. Okay? So, number 1 na error. Missing link. In terms ng clarity, it helps you write to be exceptional. Kapag kaya mong pagduksongin yung mga missing link, so, ang advantage din nito, kaya mong spell out yung logical connection between ideas. So, medyo mahirap ata to. Ito, sample. So, plunging coal exports force a sharp drop in government revenue this year. Economics say. Ito naman yung something na hindi clear yung meaning ng sentence. So, sabi kanina, bawasan mo. So, this time naman, ibabalance mo nga lang kung dadagdagan mo siya o babawasan eh. So, ang ginawa niya dito, nagdagdag siya ng additional na details naman. Kasi hindi daw malinaw. May missing link dun sa sentence. So, sabi, plunging coal export forces a sharp drop in government revenue this year. So, economics say, as producers of the fuel paid less tax. So, dinagdagan lang niya ng konting details para clear lang yung idea bakit bumaba yung coal export. Yung economist din. So, dinagdagan lang niya kasi ang producers daw ng fuel ay nagbayad ng less tax during that year. So, yun yung link. Nagdagdag naman siya. Okay? So, parehas lang. Okay, parehas lang. So, out of focus ideas. So, ito yung mga sentences na out of focus. Okay? Sa unang tingin, pag hindi ka talaga veteran writer, hindi mo to mai-spot eh. Okay? So, I really enjoyed the concert. Okay? It took me back to another era. Yan, ito'y saloobin ng isang tao. Okay? So, tatlo yung tatlo yung suggestion. So, it's either lagyan mo ng period, o kaya ay semicolon, o kaya ay hyphen. Okay? Hindi ko alam kung bakit ganyan. Binreakdown niya, I really enjoyed the concert. It took me back to another era. Yun lang yung suggestion niya. Parang hindi ako na-satisfy. Parang huminto lang siya. Parang hindi ko makita yung difference. Pero yun yung out of focus idea. Baka may iba pang sample. Ayan, ito. As an apologetic meat eater, okay, friends often ask me whether I ever eat salad. Medyo okay naman yung sentence kung titingnan mo, Pero ang suggestion niya is ganito. Inuna niya yung friends. So, friends often ask me whether, as an apologetic meat eater, I ever eat salad. So, binago lang niya yung sentence construction para ma-improve yung focusing ng ideas. Pwede din ganito. Friends often ask me whether siya daw. Sabihin may subject na ako. As an apologetic meat eater, ever eat salad. So, medyo ifino-focus lang yung idea niya sa sarili niya, So, whether ask me, yung isa kanina may me. Okay? Tapos binago lang niya yung sentence construction. Nauna lang ito. Okay? Kasi out of focus daw yung ideas. So, medyo, kahit ako hindi ko maispatan kung anong mali dito, Pero dapat daw, ifo-focus mo. Ito yung fine-tuning na nung statement mo. Ito, isa pa. An Apple media statement said it will launch the new iPhone early next year. Wala namang problema, nakikita ko Pero ang suggestion niya, in a media statement, inuna muna niya yung media statement, In a media statement, Apple said, siya nga naman, it will launch the new iPhone early next year. Okay? So, mas madaling basahin nga naman. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nagmula talaga yung statement is dun sa media. Okay? So, next. So, looking into the distance, a tall building came into view. So, ang natatandaan kong sabi niya dito is walang character yung sentence. So, kung walang character yung sentence, mas maganda kasi lalagyan mo ng character. So, ang nangyari, binigyan niya ng character. Naglagay siya ng kung sino man siya, kung nag-e-exist daw siya. As Marcus, binigyan na niya ng character yung sentence. Look into the distance, a tall building come into view. Napaka-vague kasi at saka abstract nung white sentence. So, nilagyan niya ng character. Nilagyan niya ng taong gumaganap. As he looked into the distance, pronoun naman, a table building came into view. So, mas maganda daw kung lalagyan mo siya ng character Para yung idea is may focus mo dun sa gumagawa mismo. Okay? Nagdagdag siya. So, effective writing palette, misplaced modifiers. So, isa din sa nagko-contribute daw ng out of focus statement. So, halimbawa, Lucy carefully studied the instruction. Mali, hindi careless repetition niya na out of focus. So, pwede mong sabihin, Lucy studied the instructions carefully. Okay? Out of focus yung yung carefully dyan. Pwede mong ilagay siya sa huli. Okay? So, Lucy carefully studied. So, binaligtad lang niya, Lucy studied the instructions carefully. So, mas maganda para sa akin nga naman. Okay? Pero kung titingnan mo sa unang tingin, wala namang problema talaga. Grammar, correct. Pero, ito yung improvement. Nilagay niya yung carefully sa hulihan. So, our firm specializes in safety, analyzing, and storing sensitive data. Ito na yung misplaced modifiers. So, sabi mo dyan, safely analyzing, tapos storing sensitive data. So, ganito, para para consistent. So, our firm specializes in analyzing and safely storing sensitive data. Okay? Inuna muna niya yung analyzing. Out of focus kasi. Kasi dapat yung safety is nandun sa storage. Okay? So, dun yan ilagay. Instead, yung safely analyzing, parang mas maganda kung yung modifier niya ilalagay niya sa storage. Ibig sabihin, safe dito yung natin, yung sensitive data. Out of focus kasi, safely analyzing. Safe na analysis. Parang ganon. So, ang out of focus dito is yung yung storing. Nilagay niya dun yung safely. Kasi mas maganda nga kung sasabihin mo, safe yung data mo sa amin instead na safe yung analysis namin. So, parang ganun yung ibig sabihin. So, isa pa, Lex called to talk about the meeting yesterday. So, sabi lang niya, Lex called to talk about yesterday's meeting. Okay? May about the pa, humaba pa yung sentence eh. So, usually, ganito nga yung ginagamit namin. Gumagamit kami ng modifier na naka-possessive something yung meeting. So, ambiguity. Ibig sabihin naman yan, leaving readers unsure. Hindi ka sure sa sentence kung sino nga ba siya. Ito yung sample dito. More than one meaning. Sample. The friendship between Leonard and Mark has never been the same since he left town. Parehas lalaki. Pero sabi, since he left town. Sinong umalis? So, ambiguous siya. Sinong umalis sa dalawa? Sabi, he lang eh. Leonard o si Mark. Kung babae siya, walang problema. Halimbawa, Leonard and Samantha has never been the same since he. So, alam ko, automatic si Leonard yun. Okay? Very obvious, Samantha is babae. Pero dito sa sentence na to, ambiguous yung sentence. Sino yung he? Parang sa pagde-describe din ng research, ano yung describe mo dito? Yung methodology mo ba o yung result? Since he. So, ang remedyo, inulit-ulit niya yung pangalan. Okay? So, the friendship between Leonard and Mark has never been the same since Leonard left town. Wala na yung he dapat, kamali lang siguro. So, isa pa, inuna niya kung sinong umalis. Para malinaw. Since Leonard left town, malinaw na malinaw na yun yung umalis. His friendship with Mark has never been the same. Parang mas gusto ko tong last statement. So, wala ditong ambiguous. Alam ko kung sinong umalis ng town. As compared dun sa white sentence, hindi mo alam sa dalawa kung sinong umalis. Okay? Isa pa. So, there is a big difference between a man who is truly generous and the one who is acting that way only for show. Big sabihin, pretentious. He will be the one offering to buy a round of drinks when most people have already left. Okay? So, paano matatanggalin yung ambiguity? So, ganito, dagdag siya ng word, pretender. Hindi lang basta he. Okay? So, there's a big difference between a man who is truly generous and the one who is acting that way only for show. So, sabi niya, nagdagdag siya ng word, yung pretender, siya yung ibibili ka niya ng drinks kapag maraming tao. The pretender will be the one offering to buy a round of drinks when most people have already left. Okay? So, naglalagay lang siya ng isang para makarakterize, para hindi siya ambiguous. Dito kasi sinong sinabi mong he? Yung nagpe-pretend o yung nag-ihindi? Okay? So, dito, specify niya, yung nagpe-pretend siya yung gumagawa ng mga ganitong bagay. Clumsy contrast. minsan clumsy din. Any kind of contrast that must always be sharp. Kailangan sharp yung contrast. So, ang haba, So, the fund's investment includes Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline, a transmission storage facility provider for metropolitan areas in Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma, and Affinity Water, a UK-based water company serving more than 3.5 million people. So, ano daw yung clumsy contrast dito? So, ang alam ko dito, inihiwalay niya kung ano lang yung US base, tapos ano lang yung UK base para malinaw. Yan. Kung mapapansin niyo sa second sentence, hindi dire-diretsong Affinity Water. Sinabi niya, another of the fund's asset is Affinity Water. Kasi nga, kung titingnan mo yung unang sentence, kung titingnan ko, US-based kasi itong mga location na to. Then, hindi niya sinabing and Affinity Water, tapos iba na yung location. Ang ginawa niya, another sentence, para malinaw na malinaw yung contrast nila. US-based yung tatlo, yung Affinity Water ko is UK-based. Okay? Ang laki po ng nagagawa ng punctuation sa totoong buhay. Pag ginawa mo lang comma, nawawala yung napaka-clumsy ng contrast nila. Okay? Although sinabi mo UK-based siya, pero hindi mo masesense na contrasting sila. Yung isa yung isa United Kingdom, yung isa US based. Okay? So curly writing part din ng ng part 2 natin, yung clarity. So never write sentences for reader to reread. Yung parang malabo ang meaning. Yung kailangan basahin ko ulit para malaman ko kung ano yung context, ano yung ibig sabihin. Ito. So Jennifer's painting was the most breathtaking, impressive, and striking piece among the 7 competition winners. Okay? Dubious distinction. Okay? Pwede nang sabihin mong breathtaking na siya. Kasi pag sinabi yung, parang yung similar concept nung kanina. Double meaning kasi. Kapag impressive siya, malamang breathtaking siya. Kapag striking din siya, malamang breathtaking din siya. Kumbaga, sobrang-sobra naman yung sobrang-sobra naman yung ako'y dubious dun sa distinction. May pagkakaiba pa ba yung breathtaking, impressive, at saka striking? Hindi na. All in, pag sinabi mong breathtaking, malamang impressive yan at saka striking in some way. Okay? Yan yung ibig sabihin, walang pagkakaiba yung mga wordings natin. Breathtaking, impressive, striking, iisa yung meaning. Okay? Isa pa. Ano pa ba to? Lazy descriptive words. So, curly writing pa rin. So, what are the 4-5 of avoiding recession? Doesn't sound too alarming. It is notable that this is the highest probability in the post-war period that didn't result in subsequent recession outside of the global financial crisis. Ang bigat nung sentence. Kailangan kong basahin ulit para mas maintindihan ko, which is pwede naman ganito. So while 4 out of 5 chance of avoiding recession doesn't sound too alarming, it is notable that this is the highest probability in the post-war period that didn't result in subsequent recession outside of the global. Parang walang pagkakaiba. Teka lang, check ko ha, may pagkakaiba ba? Siguro mali yung presentation ko. Okay, so mali, walang pagkakaiba. So ito na lang, siguro nagkamali lang ako. So in the event of fire alarm not being triggered, it is not advisable while the emergency light is flashing to refrain from vacating the building immediately. Nako, dami, curly writing, kulot-kulot. Parang kung kumakanta ka, yung pakulot-kulot ba yung kanta, hindi naman unnecessary. Nakakaganda siya, pero in terms ng sentence, hindi. Sa song siguro pwede. Pero ito lang na may ibig sabihin. So, ibig sabihin lang nung nasa taas, leave the building immediately if you see emergency light flashing. Even, hindi daw na-trigger yung fire alarm. So, yun lang ibig sabihin yan. Para mo yung kulot-kulot na writing, pasimplihin mo. Paiksiin. Okay, jargon tsaka buzzwords. So, ito hindi maiwasan ito sa research. Halimbawa, may term yung electronics, electronic engineering na hindi term ng IE, halimbawa in term ng ME. As much as possible, kung may equivalent ka dun, gagawin mong simple. Kasi sabi nga, yung mga vague ay, yung mga jargon words ay kailangan i-avoid kasi sila ay vague. Okay? Yung terminology mo dapat is simple lang. Okay? So, pwedeng sabihin ganito, So, we are the market-leading service provider in the entertainment space, offering state-of-the-art, value-added solution to stakeholders around the globe. Ang dami, market leading, mga buzzwords para hype na to. State of the art, ang dami. Pwede mo namang sabihin, we are the largest, biggest cinema chain. Tapos ang laban, market leading, state of the art. Okay? Pero ang ibig sabihin lang niya, we are the world's biggest cinema chain. Hindi na wala yung meaning. Okay? I am a dynamic individual and best-in-class team player dedicated to evolving an innovative approach to managing workflow environments in the marketing arena of the retail sphere. Oh, may mga retail sphere pa. Ito na lang ibig sabihin. I have spent, siguro ito yung nag-a-apply ng trabaho, I have spent the past 3 years running marketing campaigns for a major supermarket. Simpleng-simple. Okay? So, mixing sentences. Nagmi-mix ka daw. Past tense, future, past tense, future. Lazy switching. So, sample. So, ito yung sample, So, Jake says, present. He will not go to the party, future. Even though he knew, past tense. It will probably be, future again. The last chance he had, past. See Katie before she is leaving, present. Nakita nyo? Yung nagmimix yung sentences. Okay? Which is, dapat ganito niya sinulat. Okay? Jake said he would not go to the party even though he knew, it would probably be his last to see Cathy before she left Paris. So, may switching din naman ng tenses kasi knew, past tense, he would, pwede din, So, minimal lang yung switching, hindi kagaya nung nauna. Ang daming switching na nangyari. Kung pasisimplihin mo lang yung sentence, kung research statement yan, so dapat ganyan daw. Okay? To see Cathy before she left for Paris. Napakasimple lang. Okay? It versus they. So, ano bang gagamitin mo? Ang emphasis lang dito is it. Okay? Ito lang kasi yung diniscuss niya. So, kailangan lang consistent ka kung ano yung gagamitin mo. So, sample, Microsoft has launched a new operating system that they say will be their best one yet. Ito yung explanation niya, So, kapag sinabi mo daw na company, or isang entity, by practice, a company or entity is an it. Ayan, nalobat na naman ako. So, i-charge ko na naman. Wait lang. Okay? So, ang ruling daw, kapag company or entity by practice, ginagamit ay it. Ito, na-adapt ko to sa writing ko in terms ng research publication. Dati kasi gumagamit ako ng they. So, medyo binago ko na yung ways ko. Gumamit na lang ako ng it. Ito din, Manchester United. So, yan. Instead ng their first match, magamit ako ng it. Okay, consistent lang kung naimulan mo ng day, hindi naman. Okay, so ang next natin is number 10. So, removing clutter. So, pwede nating i-clear up yung space, pwede nating i-save yung main idea, o kaya yung non-urgent details for later. So, you don't have to say anything at once. Okay? So, pwedeng i-reserve mo muna yung details para ma-declutter yung, yung sentence. Minsan kasi may mga ganun. So, kagaya nung case na to. So, next, So, yung Reserve Bank of New Zealand kept interest rates steady near a record low, 2.5% on Wednesday. Napaka-specific niya, 2.5% in Wednesday, signaling satisfaction with the speed at which the economy is recovering. Okay? So, para ma-declutter niya siya, So, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand kept interest rates steady. Okay? Hindi na niya i-picture out yung record low na 2.5% on Wednesday. So, nagbawas siya ng details. So, with the speed, at which the economy is recovering. So, para lang mawala yung masyadong, parang ma-shorten lang yung sentences. So, call mo na to in terms sa research Kung hindi naman makaka-apekto na specific talaga siya ay Wednesday, or kung importante talaga sa yung record low na 2.5%, edi ibalik mo. Pero para do sa case na to, tinanggal niya. Okay? So, number 3, number C. So, elegance. Ito yung graceful writing na tinatawag. Okay, kino-consider mo daw na hindi lang basta text yung sinusulat mo. Parang but as a composition, parang kanta ba? Writing composition na tinatawag. So, may tinatawag dyan na, na presentational elegance. So, ito yung mga house rules lang na tinatawag. Magiging consistent ka lang sa capitalization, at saka dun sa, kapag kasi, consistent ka, so may flavor daw siya ng, ng unity. So, madali lang to. So, kung gagawa ka ng headings, umpisahan mo ba sa the, or dediretsuhin mo sa fate. So, parang ganyan. So, depende sa'yo kung paano mo ipepresent. As long as consistent, so, pwedeng ganyan yung hyphen, pwedeng M dash, mahaba-haba, okay? Then, in terms ng and, so, depende sa inyo kung anong ginagamit ko. Pero, personal experience, gumagamit ako nung ganito, may comma bago mag-end. Okay? Ang tawag dyan is yung Oxford na comma. Okay? So, wala namang mali kung tatanggalin mo ng comma. Pero may interpretation ang yung sa Oxford kung bakit nilalagyan ng comma. Okay? Pero ang practice ko, pag mag-e-end ako, nilalagyan ko ng comma dun sa hulihan. So, emphasis. So, depende sa, sa journal o kaya ay sa conference, kung paano mo bibigyan ng emphasis. Minsan may mga ruling ang, yung mga research paper kung bakit i-italicize mo siya. Okay? Bakit gagawin mo siyang bold. So, depende. Pero iba-iba yung klaseng emphasis. Gaya niyan, halagyan mo ng double quote, single quote, o kaya i-italicize mo lang. Basta ang importante, consistent lang. Remain consistent dun sa presentational na ginagawa mo. Okay? So, meron din tinatawag na reference. So, kailangan consistent din. Mr. Davis ba yung tatawagin mo? John Davis. So, UN, US. So, kailangan consistent. Pangit kasi yung sa umpisa, sinabi mong US na may dot, tapos sa bandang huli is US na wala ng na period. So, consistency lang. So, numbers, it's either gumamit ka ng symbol o kaya ay word. Pero by experience kasi, ginagamit ko yung 20% para makatipid ako ng spacing. So, consistent lang doon. So, may mga stray thoughts din na tinatawag, mga naliligaw. So, nakaka-confuse daw to ng readers. Tsaka nakaka-slow down. So, ang iniiwasan naman natin mag-slow down yung sentences natin. So, kung titingnan nyo yung sample sentences niya, okay? So, in-identify niya yung second sentence niya, yung stray thought. Okay? Kung di ako nagkakamali. So, sabi niya, yan yung stray thought. So, bakit? Hindi nagko-connect dun sa dalawang sentence na white. So, ang solusyon niya, para hindi siya maligaw, okay, ito yung original. Okay? So, sinabi niya dun sa second sentence na hindi talaga nag-i-improve. Okay? Although nag-co-sharing na kami, so sinabi namin hindi pa rin nag-i-improve yung ticket sales nung company kahit may code sharing na kami ng ng Dubai-based Kingdom Airways. Okay? So yun yung tinatawag. So much more elegant pag ginawa mo siyang ganyan. So hanapin mo, naliligaw ba? Usually nakikita yan sa mga middle ng sentences, yung mga straight thoughts. So meron din tinatawag na timing at saka rhythm. So ito daw yung quality ng nagta-turn sa isang ordinary writing to have a gracefulness na tinatawag. So may grace na tinatawag. Okay? So ito yung example, Ayan, the reason that I maintain that Mr. Davis is not exactly suitable for the job that he recently applied for is that his temperament is lacking in some important respects. And in this regard, so Mr. Davis would need to implement some major changes to his character before we would reconsider an application from him. Okay? So, para magka-rhythm at saka timing, ni-revise niya yung sentence. Mas pinaiksi niya dito, So, Mr. Davis isn't suited to the job he applied for. His temperament has some major flaws. Unless his character changes, we won't reconsider his application. Okay? So, medyo may timing at saka rhythm yung tinatawag na to. Although mixy siya, so same pa rin naman yung nangyayari. So, isa pa, Qantas report record profit. So, the airline said it was pleased with the result. Qantas is planning to increase the number of routes it flies. Basta kung ano yun. The carrier hopes that doing so will boost future earnings. So, ganito lang yung ginawa nila, ano. So, Qantas reported record profit and it was pleased with the result. So, bali ang nakita kong observation na ginawa na dito. Sa sobrang iksi naman nung sentence 1 and 2, so pinag-combine na lang niya. Ano? Para magkameron ng ano ng certain rhythm. Masyadong maiksi. Qantas reported record profit. The airline said it was pleased with the result. So, para magkameron ng rhythm, pinag-combine niya yung dalawa. Tapos, binago niya to yung third sentence. Third sentence. To help boost future earnings, the airline is planning to increase the number of routes it flies. Nag-combine to ng sentences para magkameron ng rhythm. So, meron din mga elegant transition na tinatawag. Paano mo sasambutin yung first sentence. Okay? So, ito yung sample. They say that exercise blah blah blah. Okay? So, kung mapapansin mo dito, kung babasahin mo yung white sentences, ang transition na dito is but. So, bakit but yung ginamit? Kasi contradictory yung nangyari. So, sabi dito, although yung exercise is essential to well-being, hindi daw siya naniniwala. Ito daw ay isang waste of time lang. Okay? So, I have friends spend every day in the gym. And they seem just as miserable as people who don't work out. Okay? So, yung transition, but I think. So, napaka-elegant daw niya dapat. So, Jason Fernandez spends the entire working day running office, paper through shredder. He dream of opening his own restaurant. So, bali, pwedeng ganito. Bago siya managinip, ang transition natin is at night. So, nananaginip daw siya sa gabi. So, pwede dong ganito. All the while, habang nagse-shred daw siya ng paper, ay yung utak niya ay nasa iba. Nagdi-dream siya na meron siya ng restaurant. Okay? Transition. Instead na diretso tayo ng he dreams, nilagyan ng at night. Tapos nilagyan din ng all the while. Okay? So, may tinatawag din tayo na parallel ideas. So, keeping ideas parallel. So, ito ibig sabihin yan. Ito yung mga example, So, anxiety, pansinin niyo lang yung last, anxiety, low self-esteem, tapos nag-introduce siya ng day. So, nawala yung, yung parallelism. So, ito yung replacement, So, anxiety, low self-esteem, and instead na they frequently feel antisocial, ginawa na lang niya antisocial tendencies. So, medyo parallel yung tatlo. So, ito din, keeping track of outgoing stock, and she maintains records. So, kung makikita nyo, keeping, ing, outgoing, stock, so maintains. Pwedeng recording Packing, recording, keeping, para consistent. Ito nga yun, packing. So, ginawa niya tracking and recording. So, medyo parallel yung ideas. So, word echoes. Ito, lagi akong nabibiktima nitong word echoes na to. Mahirap tong, solusyonan minsan. Repetition. Gaya nito. China, tapos yung next na portion is China ulit. So, para hindi mo i-repeat yung China, gahanap ka ng synonym. Which is, pwede mong sabihin ganito. The first time in 5 years, the country has revealed a shortfall in its trading account. Okay? So, yung China, malinaw na yun yung pertains do sa country nito. Para hindi lang maulit yung China, tapos another China na naman. So, itong Apple, ganun din. Naulit siya. Apple. So, kung ginawa niya, ni-replace niya dito ng, instead na Apple, pwedeng sabihin device maker, pwede nga ding sabihin, manufacturer. Pwedeng device manufacturer, device maker. Pwede nga din manufacturer, pero napaka-broad nung manufacturer. So, mas gusto niya specific. Siguro kung ano yung ginagawa talaga ng Apple. So, last ng effective writing techniques is kailangan makapag-evoke ka ng emotion. Okay? Kailangan ma-stimulate yung writing mo. So usually ang technique lang pag ine-evoke mo, nilalagyan mo ng person yung sentence o kaya subject. Okay? So pwede ding sentence variation. Ito intentional talaga na na ang simula nito is in discourse. Pansinin niyo, in discourse again. In discourse yung third sentence. So, in this course, again, talagang sinadya na in this course. So, ibig sabihin, boring yung sentence, wala siyang specific na variety na tinatawag. Okay? So, dito, ginawa niya, para magkameron ng variety, yung second sentence, ginawang you will discover. Okay? Instead na in this course, sa third sentence, ginawa niyang the program will also teach you. Okay? Yun yung sinatawag na mga sentence variation. Tapos, yung fourth sentence niya is in-integrate na nga lang yung third at saka yung fourth sentences. Okay? Pag may variety ka daw ng sentences, nakikreate mo yung evocativeness na tinatawag. Ito din, isang example din to. Standard and poor's. Parang nag-e-echo din kasi siya eh. First sentence, standard and poor's. Second sentence, standard and poor's. So, ang remedyo, it's, with its extremely low depth. Nagde-define siya dun sa, sa standard and poor's din. The country would have time on its side to deal with any jolts to the system. The rating agency said. So, sentence variation para hindi laging kung saan mo in-start yung sentence, gaya dito, standard and poor, uulitin mo na naman. So, para magkameron ka lang ng source ng rhythm, ang technique dyan, baguhin mo. Dapat hindi maulit yung standard and poor sa second sentence. Yun yung minsan na kahit ako nakakokot ako ng off guard pa paano ko ba gagawin. Pero nakikita naman siya sa portion ng editing. Kaya sabi ko nga, almost 10% lang yung writing. 90% talaga yung editing. So, i-avoid mo din yung mga weak words. So, iniiwasan to sa research. Somehow, somewhat, little, rather arguably quite. Kasi mahinang words ito eh. Parang hindi ka sure. Pag nilalagyan mo yan? A little bit, somehow, somewhat. So, dapat puwersahan, forceful. So, the government's decision to hold the election in September is, dapat hindi mo sasabihin somewhat puzzling. Sabihin mo na nga naman puzzling. Tapos ang usap. Okay, it seems, hindi ka sure. So, gawin mo na lang, Apple's earning this time around are less than impressive. Okay? Apple's earning this time around are unimpressive kung talagang borderline na unimpressive talaga. Yun yung tinatawag na forceful writing. Ito, tatanggalin mo dapat yung mga sort of. Kasi mga weak words nga yan na tinatawag nila eh. It was kind of funny. It's either funny or hindi. Natawa ka ba o hindi? Somewhat. Tatawa ka, somewhat, hindi. Arguably, laughter is the best medicine. I think hindi mo na kailangan i-argue to. May scientific explanation sa kasi ito. So, pwedeng ganito. I fell down at work yesterday and my colleagues, hindi sinabing sort of chuckled. Chuckled talaga. I have to admit, it was funny. Hindi kind of funny. I laughed along with them. Hindi somewhat. As they say, laughter is the best. Hindi mo sasabihin arguably. Talagang proven na kasi to. Notably, pwede namang sabihin, this year will be a leap year. Boy, interestingly, the fruit was speckled with red marks. Okay, pwede mo sabihin, the fruit was speckled with red marks na lang. Okay, napaka-forceful dapat nung writing. So, pwede ka rin mag-arouse ng senses. Okay? Focus on people. Ito lang yung technique para mag-arouse ng senses. Hindi man people, dapat may subject. Pero maganda kasing subject is tao, So, where applicable for citizenship are concerned, the available forms on the desk are required to be attended to. So, dinagdagan niya ng people. Para magkameron lang ng particular sense. Parang nakaka-evoke siya ng senses. Yan, people applying for citizenship should fill out one of the forms on the desk. Okay, it has been claimed in the past that epistemology is a difficult subject. So, pwede mong sabihin, sinabi ng mga philosopher, para maka-arouse ka lang ng sense. Usually, ang technique para maka-arouse nga ng sense, may particular subject ka na pinaglalaanan. Okay, some people claim epistemology is a difficult subject. So, pwede mo ding sabihin, the national threat level, relating to the chances of volcanic eruption has been changed to orange from red. Okay? So, pwedeng ganyan. Sa gobyerno mo i-assign na sila yung nag-assign ng lower threat level. O kaya, authorities. Okay? So, iisa din yung meaning. So, reversing into sentence. Ito minsan, so, i-observe mo lang yung na-aprobahan mo na sentence. Kung approve na sa'yo, maaaring hindi approve sa iba. Okay? So, careful lang. Minsan, ayan, as part of its campaign to improve the nation's health, the charity has committed thousands of dollars to fund several new projects. So, i-reverse mo lang. So, pwede mo sabihin, the charity has committed thousands of dollars to fund several new projects as part of its campaign to improve the nation's health. Mas maganda. Minsan, try mong i-reverse yung sentence tapos tingnan mo lang kung alin yung mas magandang basahin. So, the same din. Ang equivalent niya, the central bank has cut interest rate. Pinagbaligtad lang. Since November to help boost weak parts of the economy. Okay, ito. So, medyo kakaiba din to. So, mas nire-recommend nila based sa reviewer ko, sa mga reviews, pag nagpapasa ako, mas maganda daw is naka-active voice. Okay, wag passive kasi mahirap makagrasp ng picture kapag passive sentences. So, sample ng active. John hoisted the flag. So, subject, action, tsaka object. The cat chased the mouse. So, pag passive kasi ganito, the flag was hoisted by John. Okay? So, medyo mabagal para sa akin na si John pala yung nag-hoist ng flag. Kung i-compare mo sa una, alam ko si John agad yung nagtaas ng flag. The cat was chased by the mouse. Oh. In terms ng active kasi, mabilis yung grasp ng information. The cat chased the mouse. Hinabol ng pusa yung Ito, the cat was chased by the mouse. Although, may difference yung dalawa, mas mabilis maintindihan yung active sentences. Ito rin. The regulators told the company to hand over the documents. Instead na sinabihan pa yung regulators na nag-hand over ng documents. So sabi dito, it creates a sharper picture agad. Hindi kagaya nung nasa taas. So Mr. Watkins' advice should be heeded. So instead, heed Mr. Watkins' advice if you want to enhance your career. So ganon. So healthcare stocks are viewed by many investors as defensive. So pwede mong gawing many investors view healthcare stocks as defensive. Okay? Active sentences. So itong pinaka sa mahihirap talagang gawin unless creative writer ka, hindi ko to ma-apply sa sa pagsusulat ng research paper kasi dumadami at some point yung sentences kasi nag-evoke ka nga ng emotion. Humahaba yung sentences pero may mga ways din naman na mag-evoke ka ng emotion na kahit maiksi lang yung sentence. Ito, nire-record ko to sa yung voice tone character kapag gumagawa ka ng novel na sulat, halimbawa ay Harry Potter stories, yung creative writer ka, short story, fiction, scientific, pero for scientific writing such as research, hindi ko ma-apply to. So, ito lang yung equivalent niya na walang voice, tone, and character. Pero ito, nilagyan niya ng maraming adjectives. Pinaganda niya. Naging creative writing na siya. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko ito magagamit sa research kasi ang goal ko nga sa research, ang goal natin pala, hindi ko lang goal is as much as possible short sentences pero nandun yung equivalent meaning. Okay? So, sickened by the sorry state of my apartment. Okay? Ang daming adjective na nilagay. So, inside a set of dimly lit cubicles. Okay? Creative writing na kasi yung pumapatak dito. So, a new age furniture that spun my head and had me rushing home to reinvent my living space. So, medyo pinagaganda lang niya yung tone at saka yung character dito. So, ito, inare-recommend ko to for creative writing. Pero for research writing, optional na lang tong voice, tone, and character. So, that ends my presentation. Although nawalan tayo na internet. So, exactly 20 minutes bago matapos yung presentation. 20 minutes nakikita ko dito sa recording. So, isesend ko na lang to sa inyo. Sorry. And see you again. So, siguro mag-ibang topic na lang tayo next time. Ibang topic naman na in terms ng research. Okay. Basta, may maiisip tayo mga topic dyan sa susunod. So, kung na-encourage kayong mag-research, which is maganda siya talaga. Kaso talagang uubos siya ng dugo, pawis, pera din at some point. So, worth naman yung investment. Sa totoo lang. Okay? So, wag mo na lang isipin na mapopromote ka pag nagre-research. Although darating yung time yun, Okay? So sabi ko nga kanina, mas higher yung purpose mo, mas mamomotivate ka. So again, yung motto ko sa research, legacy over salary. So okay lang, kahit magastusan ako, nagagalit na nga yung asawa ko. Pero gagastos ako ng ano, minsan hindi free yung conference, 12,000 pesos. Ay nako, sana all, kagaya ni Sir Soren, scholar. So libre lang. So hanap din ako ng funding agency. O kaya, ipasok mo siya as institutional research. Kasi, bayad naman ng ano eh, ang publishing kapag institutional. Kaso, pag institutional research nga lang, minsan hindi mo hawak yung oras mo. Minsan, open for paper submission na yung conference mo, hindi pa approve ng BOR yung hindi pa approve ng BOR yung research title mo. So, hindi mo siya hawak. So, i-wait mo din yung ano. So, ang magandang approach dyan, meron kang institutional research, tapos may side project ka na personal, para may mai-submit ka sa, halimbawa sa IEEE o kahit saan man, para hindi lang maputol. Okay? At some point, kailangan mo mag-invest. Pero worth naman yan at some point din. So, sa ngayon, mag invest ka lang talaga. So, I hope ma-encourage kayong mag-research kasi nakikita ko kasi sa engineering, tayo talaga yung maraming publishable researches eh. Ang kulang na nga lang paano mo isusulat ng maganda. Okay? Hindi tayo nauubusan ng conference every week, every month. Sa IEEE meron. Kasi ang daming nag-i-sponsor na mga organization, ang daming nag-i-sponsor na chapters. Ano? So I hope, makikita ko yung name nyo someday dun sa Scopus database. Okay? Kahit pa isa-isa lang muna, nakaka-addict siya at some point, promise. Pag nakita mo yung name mo sa Scopus database, sa IEEE database, nakaka-addict. Minsan, hindi ka natitigil. Okay, so salamat. See you when I see you.